And Pastor, I'm actually humbled because I've tried to whitewash, paper over how important the position I'm in, because I don't want that. I don't have this high view of myself. And I know that it's not Alex Jones that's helped wake up all these people. It was God working through me and my great listeners. And we're involved in the most important thing that we could be. I've got the most important job that anybody could have. You have the most important job anybody could have. A old washerwoman talking to her neighbors about the New World Order and about global tax has the most important job. We are fighting pure, unadulterated death, total destruction. Kill, steal, and destroy. That is the enemy. Kill, steal, and destroy. That's all, like a big robot. Kill, steal, destroy. That's what eco-science says. That's what the globalists are pushing. Let's go to phone calls, Lindsay.
Thank you, Alex.
You bet. Good to have you here. Vanessa, you can address myself or Lindsay, but let's move quickly. Vanessa, thanks for holding her on the air.
Hi, Alex. It's such an honor to speak with you and Lindsay today. So happy to be able to speak with you.
Well, it's an honor to speak with you. Ma'am, go ahead.
Well, thank you for shifting my paradigm, and it's made me a better parent and a better patriot. And I just want you to know that I'm going to be giving out copies of your Fall of the Republic to every trick-or-treater at my door this Halloween.
That's a good idea.
Yes, along with some information about the flu vaccine. And I understand this is a little bit off topic. I was on hold before.
No, it's not. Go ahead. Lindsay can comment on this.
Okay, I just wanted to know what your opinion was of this, or your thoughts. It's really disturbing to me. Our school district in the area is performing reverse 911 type calls.
Yes. They call up and tell you, we had an incident at the school today, or a storm may be coming. And the feds reported in the late 80s, they want to have all of us, where radios, TVs, even if they're not plugged in, they have transponders in them. By law, they're beginning to put in them, where they're going to take over and make announcements.
Yes, and they're promoting the free vaccines. There's 4 public high schools.
So you're getting automated phone calls, or are they having human beings call you?
No, they are automated, and they're calling cell phones, too.
Robot calls, man.
Yes, and I just, it's really scary. And the last thing I want to say, and I'll let you go because I know you've got a lot of people to get to, they had a military helicopter land in our local elementary school's playground during school hours and made it part of an assembly. Brought the kids out there. They were armed.
And it sounds reasonable, but it's done to acclimate. Anderson High, where I graduated in 1993, they had an Army Reserve general was the principal. And the year after I left, Roger Raisler, the younger brother of Alex and Nate Raisler, became a UT football player, good friend of mine. He called me and said, because I was already talking about the New World Order by the time I was a freshman in college, he said, you wouldn't believe it, Alex. They landed a helicopter and announced over the school, and this happened my last day of school too, or 2 days before, they landed a Cobra. But they said they announced, this is your New World Order. And they had Marines take over Hobbs Middle School, Pensacola, Florida. We have those articles, 1998. And the Marines took over the classrooms and said, the president wants you to know what martial law is like. In fact, guys, search engine, Infowars.com, helicopters, Anderson High. Black helicopter, Anderson High, something like that. You'll see photos that we posted, because not only did Roger Raisler call me, but then I got sent photos years later of it happening again. I'm now remembering the whole story, but thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Lindsay Williams, your comment on the acclamation of the military taking over America.
Your leaders talk with me about this. I am so glad your caller brought this up. They call it the devil's Messiah. Now, they have a word for it. Normally, you probably wouldn't hear this. It goes all the way back to what they've done to our schools. It goes to the humanism that was brought in by evolution. They have subverted the churches. Oh, my goodness. In my new DVD set, I talk about what is done to the churches because I've been a pastor for 50 years or minister of the gospel, so I go into that. Every bit of this is a part of what the leaders talk with me about. I think I dealt with part of this on your program last week, so how far you'd like us to go, they did. This is their program.
We'll continue. Let's get to some more of the calls, though. That's important. The total takeover of society through the schools and churches, that's been declassified. Victor in California, you're on the air with Lindsey Williams.
How you doing, Alex?
Good.
Alex.
Yes.
I'm Victor. I'm a veteran from Iraq and Afghanistan. I served in Fort Bragg, and I was just looking over this on the internet. It says The Dome, Under the Dome by Stephen King, and it was on an exclusive PopEater.com interview with him. And I just was wondering, like, because I noticed that The Simpsons had the dome on their cartoon, and now this is coming out.
Yes, it's predictive programming where they condition you that you've got to go under quarantine. They've got scores of TV shows about disaster, martial law. Also, you're comfortable with it and almost expect it. Like, I keep hearing about this movie. I want to go see it now. So you're expecting it. It's kind of like when you're growing up in middle school and the bully is saying, I'm going to be waiting for you when you get off the bus. You almost are glad when you're pulling up in the bus and you see him waiting over in the edge of the woods. You're almost glad to get it over with. You're almost glad when he finally punches you because now you can get it going. And that's the acclamation. And that Lindsey talked about that. The elite told him 2 weeks ago the same thing. We're using movies to condition you. Lindsey?
Yes, they gave me a schedule of events in chronological order. I'm still sitting back startled. I think I gave those also on your program last week. A schedule of events in chronological order of their countdown according to their new altered timeline of approximately 2 years, and every bit of this is planned in advance. And I think probably, Alex, the only reason this gentleman gave me this is because he's over 85 years of age. He almost died last winter. Once you become a part of the elite, you never get away from them. And by the providence of God, I've known this man now for about 30 years. A number of times I've talked to him on the phone. When he gave me this only days ago, I was utterly appalled to know the entire plan of the elite for the next 2 years.
All right, stay there. We're going to come back to Amber, Dayton, Derek, Matt, and others. Stay with us.
Of the 3 million plus.
As promised, Lindsey Williams is here taking your calls. We're almost through the calls that we're holding on other issues, but everything the callers bring up ties into what Lindsey's been discussing. Amber in New York, you're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I just wanted to thank you for being so strong for everybody and leading us through this trying time in our country. And
well, ma'am, I hope I can live up to it. I'm just an average person, an example of what we can all do, but go ahead.
I wanted to know if you knew anything about, I live in southern New York, and we have these guys that pulled up a couple weeks ago in pickup trucks, and they tagged our driveway with a big shiny address, and it's on everybody's property. But the scarier thing is there's so much FEMA posters up, like at the stores on the windows, and I don't know. It's just...
They're just training you to see posters about spying on your neighbors and posters how the government wants to help you and posters how the government loves you and half the billboards. I'm not exaggerating. I ought to do a piece on this for YouTube. Drive around and go, let's just randomly drive down a road and show the billboards. Tattle on your neighbors. Tattle on your kids. Don't use drugs. The government's your boss. It's like 1984. I appreciate your call. The elite are clearly bringing in a major police state, Lindsey Williams. Why?
Oh, they positively are, because the name of the game is control. I've said it for 35 years since I lived with these people. That's all they're after. Some of the people that I was with on the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline, they could have written a check for $1 million a day for the rest of their life and never spent their fortunes. Everything is about control of people, control of nations, control of currencies, and it's control, not necessarily just dollars and cents, even though that's a part of their program. And everything imaginable in our society today is geared to programming people mentally. It's a psychological battle to prepare them for their timeline.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take another phone call. Let's speak to, thank you, Amber, Dayton in Louisiana. You're on the air, Dayton.
Well, I want to thank you and Linda for being patriotic and trying to help our country out of this mess we're in. I'm a veteran of World War II, 84 years old, and I've lived in the best days of our country. But some of you younger people have got to stand up, or we're going to lose everything we fought for. But I want to again thank both of you guys for doing what you're doing, and God bless you.
Well, God bless you. Do you have any questions for Lindsay? Well, a lot of callers just want to thank us, and I want to explain something. We need your support, and we appreciate it, but I need everybody just to warn the girls about how the Gardasil shot's killing them, how the flu shots are already killing and maiming people, how global government's being set up. I don't deserve a lot of things. How could I know this information and not warn people? I mean, it's common sense. And I'm not saying I don't like being thanked, but, I mean, how do you know that they're putting poison in the water supply and bragging about it in government documents and not get upset, Lindsay Williams?